the chance to read through this particular handout that's provided for you, I want to go ahead and skim through the first page of this. This is actually a two-page handout here, and it just elaborates on this first page about what an abstract is and what the purpose of it even is. And so basically, I'd like to think of the abstract as being the light bulb that you have when you come across the essay prompt or the prompt for a particular essay. And as it says, in that first paragraph there, it's just a summary of what you expect to write. It's expected to be, as we read further, at least 50 words, but no more than one full page. If you do end up changing your topic for your essay, which can happen and which is okay to happen, the instructor is fine with that. It says as long as you notify him 24 hours prior to submitting the paper, so that way you'd be able to maintain rewriting eligibility. That's of course assuming that it's turned in by the deadline and there's no plagiarism in the eventual essay or any other things that could cost it from being eligible for a rewrite. And then it mentions here, of course, the different questions being asked. Three main questions, or the three key questions, are: how clear is the writer about his or her focus for the essay? How clear is the writer about the assignment? And how clearly does the writer express his or her ideas? That third question is just simply related to stylistic choices and grammar control right there. And so anyway, those are the three questions that assist in determining what grade the student would earn. And being that the abstract is worth 10 points, there's three separate grade ranges that are possible. That would be the plus, the check, or the minus right here. And you'll see for yourself that out of 10, the plus would be 9 or 10 points. The check would be 7 or 8 points, and that the minus would be 5 or 6 points. And there's the details given for each one of these right here. And again, just kind of skimming through them right there, you'll see that basically with a plus, all of the areas are clear. If there are any errors, particularly with grammar, they're not considered to be significant errors. With the check, there is an element that lacks clarity related back to those three questions. It may not hurt to talk with the instructor, but it's not necessary to do so. And then finally, with a minus, there's two or more of those questions mentioned earlier lack clarity, or it would not be considered clear in response to the question. It could also be a grammatical and stylistic issue. It could be to where there are so many concerns to where that would bring the grade down. And also, when someone earns a minus, contacting the instructor is highly recommended. I should point out as well right here about what happens when a student earns less than 5 points. That's usually for late submission or plagiarism. And then also, I think that this sentence here on the very last page is very key. The whole point of the plus, check, or minus is not to predict the grade for the eventual essay, but rather to see where you are in that stage of the writing process. That way you can get some feedback prior to submitting the essay on what it is you need to focus on, so that way you could get, and so that way you'd be able to earn the better grade. And so what I mean by that is basically I've had students who have earned minuses on their abstracts, but they end up earning A's on the essay. I've had students who've earned a plus on the abstract, and yet they end up earning a C or maybe even lower on the eventual essay. So again, I don't want anyone to get discouraged or become overly confident about whatever grade they earn with the abstract. All it's about is, again, just determining where you are at that point in the writing process. And as mentioned on the second page, you see some examples from some past students. Nothing's been changed here, with the exception of the making sure that all of them were single space, and also the names being removed. The format for any one of the three is acceptable. And you'll see at the top right here that the topic for all three of these, for what these students were writing, they're dealing with a topic that asks them to disprove a statement they had heard or read, and by using personal experience to do just that. And so if we take a look at this first one right here, it may not hurt for you to just go ahead and pause this video so that way you can read it if you haven't done so already. But this first one right here that's titled Knowledge is Power, if we were to go ahead and apply the questions from the first page, you'll see that this is actually among the three on this handout, that this is the check, that this student earned the check grade for this abstract. And you'll see that the focus is clear because the student specifically states the phrase on which the essay is going to focus on. Also, too, the understanding of the assignment is clear. After all, the student says that, or I should say that the writer plans to disprove the statement and even revises it to where it reads, applied knowledge is power. I should point out, however, that there are some sentence level errors. There's some absence of commas, a key misspelling you'll find where it should be pour with two O's. This should actually be P-O-U-R right here. And also, too, the final sentence has some awkward wording. If you read it out loud, I will be exploring the aspects of this statement and the disciplines of application it fails to remind the doer of in real life scenarios right there. So it's in that case, it would in fact be grammar and stylistic issues that are in fact weakening it, and therefore, again, that is why this one is the check among the three. Now, again, you may want to pause this video until you've had a chance to go ahead and finish reading this second example here. And once you do, you can go ahead and play it, and you'll see that among the three, this is the minus. This is the one that earned the minus grade. And again, if you were to go through the questions on the first page, you'll see that the focus is clear as the student takes a sentence out of the Tobias Wolff essay that is serving as the springboard. The essay is the last shot. However, the understanding of the assignment is not clear, as the writer is supposed to disprove the statement and not support it. You'll see that when you read this that you're seeing how the student is supporting it here. And there are also sentence level errors. There's an absence of commas and parenthetical documentation along with an awkwardly worded sentence. And you'll see that right there when the student writes this one, particularly is what I'm mentioning, where it says that I've experienced someone close to me losing their life at a young age, as well as Wolff had. And so again, that would need to be revised to be clear. And then finally, you see the third abstract example that's provided to you. Process of elimination would probably lead you to determining that this is the plus among the abstracts provided, and that would in fact be correct. But please read through it anyway, and again ask yourself the questions on the previous page. And you'll see that by going through the questions that the focus is clear. The student says in the first sentence right here what that phrase is going to be, and you've probably seen it where it says time heals all wounds. You've probably heard that before. Secondly, the understanding of the assignment is clear as the writer states his or her plan to disprove the statement. Granted, the first sentence could use better wording, but it's not to the point where it hinders the reader's understanding of what the student plans to write. And for that reason, there's not any reason that this particular abstract, when you read through it in its entirety, why it should earn any less than the plus grade. And again, if there are questions regarding this video or abstracts in general, please be sure to contact the instructor again at gregory.ramirez@sccd.edu or at 675-4832.